I wanted to show you, show you all that kid. Oh, there he is. Okay, maybe I can turn him to face you. Kendrick got a haircut a couple weeks ago, but they gave him a lamb cut, so sort of like a schnauzer cut, but not really. Anyway, his eyebrows are a little bit grown out now, and I think they're hilarious because he, look up, Fran. He looks like Andy Warhol. Hello. And do you want to, do you have something to say to the people? No? Okay, great. He looks like Andy Warhol, and I love it. Bye. Let's get into it. Take 116. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece4PeaceCrafting Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to find me on other social media, you can do so by following me over on Instagram as the on Instagram as Piece4PeaceCrafting, on Ravelry as Piece4PeaceCraft, or if you like music and you want to follow along to the playlist that goes with this podcast, which I haven't recommended a lot of music lately, but the playlist is still there over on Spotify. It's the Piece4PeaceCrafting Podcast playlist. And if you want to share fun book recommendations with me or see what I'm up to, you can follow me over on the Storygraph as Piece4PeaceCrafting. What's good, everybody? If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, you already know what's up. All my new friends, if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more of it, feel free to do all that fun YouTube stuff. You can like the video, you could subscribe, it costs nothing to you, and you could ring the bell if you want to see more of the silly shenanigans that I get up to here on this channel. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff. Today I'm talking about all knitting things. Yay. All right, so tea has been had. I'm recording this a little bit later than normal because I decided to go out and do some things this morning / afternoon, have a life, and so I'm recording this kind of late, but that is okay. As long as it gets up, that's all we really care about. I hope everyone's had a great 2 weeks. My 2 weeks have sort of flown by. It's kind of crazy. A lot has been going on in my world, not just work-wise, but I've been trying to get back into just some normal life things, going out, hanging out with friends, seeing things around the city, all that jazz. Went to a dance show, went to an art exhibition since the last time we've chatted. I realized that I'm so hot. I realized in talking to some friends, or one of my friends who we both have AMC subscriptions, that in the month of October, because I was traveling so much, I'd seen no movies in October, and so I've been trying to get back into the swing of things with that. So right, one of the things I did today, which stopped me from recording earlier, was I went to go and see a movie with that friend. It was, I need to let it marinate because it was a lot. So we went to go see Die My Love, which is with Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson, and it is a lot. And I don't know a lot of what, but it's a lot So I'm just trying to, I feel like I can't really talk about it because I need to like let it settle. It's still very in my head right now, and I need it to be in my belly so that I can like properly digest it and think about what actually happened in that movie. I enjoyed it though. It was just not at all what I was expecting. Some other things that I did see this past week though were I went to go see Begonia with what's her name, Emma Stone. Very good, really weird and bizarre. Loved it. One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor, Sean Penn. That movie. You know, I didn't want to see that because I saw the length of the film and I was like, I don't really know if I want to like sit through this. It's kind of long. But I'm glad that I did because I ended up really, really enjoying it. Not surprisingly, but like I was surprised leaving the theater being like, that was actually a lot of fun and kind of crazy. And then I saw the Bruce Springsteen movie, which to be honest, I felt was a little bit dry, but maybe that's because I don't know that side of his life very much. And I don't really know a lot of his music. So like, which is weird to me that I don't, but also I don't know a lot of people's music. So I don't know. I feel like it didn't resonate with me as much as I thought that it would. I'm sure Jeremy Allen White will be nominated for something for it because, yeah. So we've been doing the things and it's been good. There has been a little bit of crafting around here and a little bit of book reading. And so, yeah, I have a couple things to chat with you all about. This famous last words won't be too long of an episode, but yeah, there's some things that are coming up. Lastly, oh my gosh, I feel like my eyelash is in my eye. I'm so sorry, you all. I just keep like futzing with my eyeball. I know that I'm recording this late, so this will probably go up late, which means that people probably won't see it in time, but I'm just letting folks know I did post in the community tab here on YouTube last week that I was gonna do a like Zoom craft hangout, which is gonna be tomorrow, November 16th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm just gonna hang out with folks for like an hour and a half. So if I can get this up in time, I will put the link to the sign up, like to sign up if you would like to come and hang out below. If you don't see the sign up list there, that means that it uploaded too late and I didn't think that people would sign up in time. But I'm gonna send an email out in the morning to everyone with a link to the Zoom hangout, and yeah, we'll just sit and hang out for a little bit and craft. Tomorrow, it will be morning for me. Maybe for some of you, it may be the beginning or the afternoon. But I'm really excited about that. I feel like I haven't done one in a while, and some folks have been asking if I was going to bring that back. And so I'm happy to be doing that again just because I want to hang out with everyone and be nosy and see what people are crafting on. And yeah, just, have chill times. So that's that. Yeah. I think that's everything. Okay, cool. Let's get into some making. I don't have very much, you all, if I'm being honest. I have one FO, 2 whips, and one thing that I'm going to start. And then I just have a book that I finished, and that'll be that. So like I said, let's see if we can get this knocked out in under 30 minutes. I doubt it, but we can all try. I can try to. All right, so I finished, which is so funny to me because in prepping for this, I was like, oh, I've already shown this, but like I haven't. I finished my Gibb 2 sweater. I've been wearing it, and so I think that's why I thought that I'd shown it already, because I'm like, oh no, I've been wearing this. So this is a sweater pattern by Andrew Mowry. It is a worsted weight pattern. I knit this in my sort of mystery yarn that I got from Rhinebeck a few years ago, the $5 skeins. I have a skein left of it, so I think I used 4 skeins to make this of worsted. I don't think that the yardage on the labeling was right. That's neither here nor there. What can I say about this? Okay, so the pattern is written top down. This took me months and months and months to make because I put it off for a little bit. I love the, here I can get a little bit closer. I love the cable that goes down for the raglan. This sweater is a lot of purling, but honestly, I feel like the payoff is really great. When I wore this sweater to work, people were like, where did you get your sweater from? I'm like, oh, I made it. And they were like, no, that looks like something that came from a store. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. This is the ribbing for the cuffs, the neck, and the hem are all done on US 5. Yeah. And the body is supposed to be done on a US 7. I did the chest till the split for sleeves on a 7. Then I went in and picked up to do my sleeves. And because it has this patterning, I have like stuff on me. Because it has this patterning all over, this texture, I have another sweater that has a texture and I didn't want it to be too tight on the arm, so I went up to an 8 just to make sure that I had room, and I love the amount of room that it gave me. And so when I went back to the body, I decided that I would stay with the 8s for the rest of the body, which I know is a very, very, very risky move to do the chest in one size and the body in the other. But if I stand up, I think that it gave me like the amount of ease that I wanted, and it just is so cozy and I love it. Yeah, I can't say enough about it. I think that it's a really fun pattern. If you get over purling, it's like knit 1, purl 3, and like a specific pattern. That's not giving anything away. And a specific pattern, but it's all over. So like, that is a lot of purling. I thought at one point while I was doing it, oh, it would be so funny if I just turned it inside out and did the pattern, but the reverse. So like knit 3, purl 1, and then just figure out what the pattern was. But I don't really care about purling, so it was fine by us, whatever. I ended up taking this on the train while I was commuting because I stick my, excuse me, I stick my sleeves, once I do them first, inside of the body while I'm knitting it. So I just pull them to the inside. So it's just like I'm rotating a tube. So in all honesty, the reason that I got this done when I did is because I ended up taking it on the train with me while I was commuting, and I would just work on it while I was going to and from work, which really helped out and made things a lot easier. And then I'd work on it a little bit once I got home. Finished it, blocked it. This yarn was surprisingly, for being a worsted weight, it blocked in like, I don't know, a day and a little. I did have a fan on it and the windows were open, pretty sure, because it was still a little bit warm then. So it was catching a breeze and it's been great. I love it. Gibb to Andrew Mowry. I would recommend. It was just great. All right, that's that. The second thing I've been working on is I put a couple, where is it? I put a couple, oh my gosh, it's right here on the floor next to me. Just a little bit on my, what's this called? It is called the Wave of Change Blanket by Denise Byron. I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash Bulky to knit this up. And so, yeah, that's just 100% superwash. It's 137 yards for 100 grams. Bulky weights. This, oh, I guess I've done like a panel and a half or a repeat and a half. So the little mushroom is where I was. And here's where I am now. This pattern is supposed to be done on I'm gonna move this mic up just a little bit. Supposed to be done on US 10s. I'm doing it on 10.5 needles, just because, I don't know, I want to really eat up this yarn. I have about 20 skeins of this yarn, and I'm just going to use it until it's all used up. So it's growing a little bit. You start at the center and then work your way out. So you see it has this little ripple effect that's happening with the purl ridge. I'm enjoying it. This is small enough too now. I've put it on a slightly bigger cord where I can put it in a small bag for right now. And when I'm not reading on the train, I usually on my way home from work when I'm a little bit more drained and I'm not feeling like reading, I'll pull out a knitting project if I can get a seat on the train, and I'll work on it and just like listen to some music on the way home. But there weren't too many mornings where I was like pulling this out and like working on it. But you know, I was only doing like a couple rows, and then I'd worked on this when I got home, or I worked on it during a knit night. So yeah, this is just like a mindless little project. Once it gets a little bit bigger, which will probably be within the next 2 weeks, I won't show it as much, just because I feel like there won't be as much progress, because the rows will definitely be getting longer, because you do increase by quite a bit each repeat that you do. I can't remember the number of stitches. I want to say it's like, I don't remember. It's a lot of stitches though. Maybe it's 40 stitches every repeat. So, I mean, it's getting bigger. Anywho, I'm loving this. I think it's going to be so fun once it's done. It's a very neutral color, and it'll be great on my bed, or, I mean, we've had our first snowfall here in Chicago, so if I'm curling up on the couch and I just want to snuggle up, especially with the pup, since this past weekend, actually, when we had our first snowfall, we had a very chill weekend, or one of the days. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. Either way, I ended up taking a nap on the couch for a little bit, and I woke up and he was like nestled next to me, and I guess I just didn't feel him jump up and get on the couch with me. But all that to say, there's gonna be some snuggle time coming up here, so I'm super excited to continue working on this. This is like my mindless at-home project for right now, which is really great, and I'll show you all something in a second. But I have a hopefully soon to be mindless project that I can take on the go with me, especially as that one starts to grow bigger. All right, the second thing that I've been working on, you all, is last time, I don't think I had this cast on, ? I honestly don't remember. I don't think that I did, but those of you watching will probably remember better than I did. Maybe I just showed my swatch last time. Anyway, I swatched for the Novice Slipover Man by Petite Knit. Yeah, Petite Knit. So that's kind of what it looks like, a little black and white photo. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sizes. So it goes from 39 3/4. So yeah, 39 3/4 all the way up to 60 3/4 inches, or 101 centimeters to 154 centimeters. I want to say that this was, I think Denise's pattern was $8, and this one is about $7. I'll double check that, and I'll put the price next to the link to the pattern in the description below. Actually, I'll do that for both of them, since I forgot to look those up before I started. I was watching Chevis of Chevy Real Stuff, and she mentions the price of the patterns all the time on her channel, and I always find that very helpful when people do that. And so I'm gonna try to do my best to incorporate that here, because it just makes it easier, especially if you're like, oh, I'd like to make something, and then you're like, oh, that looks really cool, but maybe, you know, the world is crazy, and you're like, but I don't really want to spend $8 or $15 on something right now. So just being able to know the cost of things, I think, is really beneficial to our craft. So I'm doing this slipover. I showed my swatch last time, which I show you one of the plates here, and this is the Criollo yarn from where's the little tag, the name of the thing? Here we go. So this is the Criollo yarn from Prado de Lana. And this is the unspun yarn from our little Mexican sheep. I will say that I've used this unspun before. Well, not this particular unspun before, but I've used an unspun yarn before. So I've used there's some Plotulopi in there. And I think that yarn, or that unspun, is a little toothier, and it doesn't break apart as easily. So I think I talked about this last time, I am having to, one, really make sure that my hands are moisturized, and two, really think about how I'm tensioning and focus on what my tension is while I'm using this, because it does tend to break a little bit. But once I get in the groove of it, it's totally fine. The other thing that I found very helpful is it's kind of caked up as a double strand, but I'm holding it single strand. And so I now will take the time to pull a bunch out since it's double, and then I'll separate those two, and then I wind them up and then wet splice them together, the ends. And then I make just like a tinier little, like I just like put it on my hands and I gently wind it up. And so I'm making just like tinier little cakes from the bigger plate to make it more manageable for me. And I have found that that is making it way easier. So here is, let me try to be gentle. This is being knit up on US 6s, I'm pretty sure, and I'm knitting the 6th size. So that is, the finished garment should be about 50 inches. I want it to be a little bit more oversized, also because I'm holding it. I mean, when I did my swatch, I was on gauge, so I think it'll be fine for like the style that I'm going for. I want it to be a little bit more oversized of a fit. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure I didn't show it because I don't have a marker anywhere. So here's what I have so far. This looks so silly. Here's what I have so far. I have completed I just got very sniffly. The back section and the armhole shaping for the arms. And then I picked up one of these pickups, you guys, is really bomb. I picked up, it's like almost seamless. I was really proud of myself for that. This side looks good, but it's not as good. Anyway, you all probably, maybe you can tell the difference. So I picked up for the front and I have connected for the front of the slipover. Whoopsies. For the front of the slipover, and now I just need to knit, I can't remember how long until I start doing the shaping for the front. And then I will connect it and start the body. I'm very excited about this. I will say the other thing that I've learned about this, I feel like I'm gonna love, I don't know if you all can see that. It's a little bit textured just because of the unspunness of it all, which I'm kind of digging. And because it's unspun, it can thin out some if I'm not paying attention. So every now and then there are stitches that are a little thinner. And I notice them on the comeback, right? So I'll be going and then I'm coming back and I'm, because it's knit flat, I'm purling, going backwards and oh, that stitch was a little bit thin. And so I try to go like a couple rows, and because I've had a few times where it's broken off, I just save those little broken off bits and I thread them on my tapestry needle. And once I go a little bit past where maybe there was a thin stitch, I'll just duplicate stitch over, like you can see on the inside here, there's a couple, little spots where I've just like left the ends in there, and I'll deal with those after, but I just duplicate stitch over those little finer spots just to make sure that like it's gonna hold up really well. I'll say that like the fabric though, for the majority is like very sturdy. It's just I get nervous because there are those thin stitches, and so when I go back over them with the extra, I feel very comfortable. I think this is gonna be a really nice piece once it's done. Something that looks a little bit more rustic, but it's, you can probably hear the clicking from the needles, I'm sorry. Something that's rustic looking, but is just so light and gonna be so beautiful, and just like a very nice neutral piece that I can throw on to go to an event or just like wear around the office. Our office is pretty casual, so yeah, like this will be nice, but it doesn't have to be too nice. So those are the only things that I'm working on for right now. And then I've been having chats with a bunch of people actually, and I'm thinking about, sorry, there's like fluff and fuzz in my mouth now. I'm thinking about possibly destashing some stuff that's behind me, mostly from like these bins up here. I feel like these two are sort of yarns that are spoken for in projects, and the ones that are above me, I feel like I'm not as, this isn't as close as it normally is, so I'm just gonna move you all closer. There's just some colors and some things in there that I don't think are really my vibe anymore. And so, yeah, I'm thinking about destashing them. I haven't figured all that out yet. You know, talking to some people, maybe doing it on Instagram, talking to some folks, maybe putting it up on Ravelry. I will cross that bridge once I get to it. It's just a thought right now, especially because I want to go through and rearrange some things that are behind me. All that to say, in thinking about that, I noticed some things that were in my stash and I want to use them because I need another little travel long project. And so I think the next thing that I'm going to cast on, which I don't have the pattern printed out, but it's the moon bumps. Is it shawl or wrap? I can't remember. Anyway, it's by Maxim Sear, and it's just a little scarf number, and it has like the I-cord little moon bumps in them. And so I've had the Le Garçon Wolcott collab fluff for a while. And this is 55% baby alpaca, 18% fine merino wool, 17% mulberry silk, 10% yak, 100% dreamy. And this is in Glacial Depths. Oh, it's, how much is it? It is 219 yards for 50 grams. Or 200 meters for 50 grams. And so I think this is just a little bit less than what the pattern calls for. The original pattern was written in Moondrake's Fua Fua. So I have like, oh, that's just gonna make a mess. I have this I don't remember this color, but I used the fluff when I made the officer sweater. And so I have this, and I thought about maybe doing the ends of the sweater in this, or like striped, just to get the yardage for it. Or I could cut out a couple of the stripes in the middle, but I kind of want it to be long. So I think I might just stripe the beginning and the end of the pattern. Or I could do it, I feel like the light would be cute. Or I also have, yeah, the darker is not the vibe. So striping possibly just to get the pattern started and then to end the pattern. And maybe the tassels could be in that too, if I end up doing tassels. Anyway, I also have this, this is an early braid. I had to go back and look because when I looked at the tag that I wrote, thank goodness, this is the Sneaky Knitter fiber, and it was 100% merino when I looked it up, but I didn't have the date of when I spun it on here. So this is back from when I first started. So there are definitely some very questionable spots in here. Some of it is a little bit not plied as much, but I don't mind cutting things out. I'm fine with that. This is from like 2021. So this is what, 4 years ago? Anywho, I think this is really fun. I think these two will look great together. They'll definitely be a pop. And I'm going to start working on this. I'm going to cake this up. I'm going to start this project. I'm very excited about it. I'm pretty sure that I will add in the lighter color just to begin, maybe a couple repeats, and then finish it off. And then before I get to the end, I'll do a couple repeats of it striping. Maybe it'll fade. I'll do like solid, stripe it a little, and then continue. We'll see. I'll make it look cute for me. Not cute for you. So I'm very excited to get that on the needles and get that going. That's should be cast on in the next couple of days or so. All right. So the last thing that I have to chat about is a little book read that I just finished. I started this a while back, and if I'm being honest, it was one of the books that I was picking up and putting down a lot. I was reading some other things. I was doing other projects in between. I wasn't really reading as much for a little while I was commuting. I can't remember what I was working on, but I must have had something. It's probably the sweater. Oh, and it was probably when I was getting stuff ready for Rhinebeck. So I put this down because when I looked at how many times I've renewed this book, it was a little bit insane. Anywho, it is finished. And just the other day, I finished River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. And this is I believe this is her debut novel. And this is a novel about an enslaved woman who learns the people who are on the plantation, the enslaved people who work on this plantation. It takes place in Barbados. Learn that they've been emancipated, but because people are trash, they all had to work 6-year apprenticeships. I'll do with that what you will. And so she decides that she's going to run away from the plantation that she's on, and she runs away to try to locate 5 of her children that were sold off into slavery. And so this book, it takes place in 1834. It sees our main character traveling from Barbados to, this is all written on the back, you all, so I'm not spoiling anything. It sees our main character traveling from Barbados all the way to Trinidad, and her journey is quite incredible. There were definitely some times where I was like, I could not put it down because of, certain characters or the way that things were developing, and the way that it's written was just very intriguing to me, and the people that she meets and the story, the way that she comes to learn a lot of the information is just very was very fascinating. And so when I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy that this is over. What a journey. But normally I would just like be like, okay, I'm done. But the author's note was like immediately following. And normally I wouldn't read that, but I was like really enjoying reading. And so I decided to start reading it, and it was very enlightening to me that the author, had done like all this research and like traveled back to like talk to her family and other people that she knew while she was like doing research for something else. I can't remember what it was, in St. Lucia, but also like talking to folks in Barbados and like getting accounts of like what that time period was like in the Caribbean. And so like there were people, like once the Emancipation Act was put into place, that actually like did go out and try to find family and stuff. And that made me, one, really sad, but also like, I don't know, it was like so inspiring seems like a weird word to use, but it seemed very inspiring and hopeful that, you know, in an age when like, you know, we live in such a digital age now where, you know, finding out things can be a little bit easier. I'm not saying that it is easy by any means, especially for some of us who are not able to track our lineage back to specific places because slavery. Just that like people without the use of technology were just like, by sheer will and determination, going out to like try to find their loved ones. And I thought that it was just like very, it was inspiring. I was just like, this is crazy that people actually were doing this. And it just goes to show that like, you know, there's those like t-shirts that say like, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. And like, that's very true, especially after reading this. I was like, oh my God, okay, it was really beautiful. So I would recommend, I think I gave it a 4.25 out of 5 on the Storygraph. If you're not on the Storygraph, I would highly recommend. I really enjoy being over there. It is not like Jeff's social media platform for books. I know that a lot of people still use that platform. As much as I can, even though I know that like there are so many facets of my life where like I have to support that man, this is just like one small way that I cannot. And the Storygraph is owned and operated by a Black woman, so I love that. And just like I love seeing the data about the books that I'm reading, and yeah, the way that it's laid out over there, it's not like a social media thing like Jeff's website is, where you're just like reading people's reviews and they like didn't like a book because they thought the character was mean. Well, maybe that's what the author wanted. So like, yeah, anyway. Also, the cool thing about the Storygraph is you can do like read-alongs and buddy reads over there. And I think that that's really dope. And, you know, I'm about to start a buddy read right now with a couple of people. We are going to read Sibo Campbell's book, A Sky Full of Elephants, over on the Storygraph. And if you would like, I think for buddy reads, you can have like up to 15 people do a buddy read with you. So if you're interested in that, you can feel free to shoot me a DM if you're over on the Storygraph and you want to read along with us. We are starting it this coming week, and we're going to try to finish it by the 15th of December. So it gives us 4 weeks. Get through the Thanksgiving holiday right before the winter holidays. We'll finish it. Thinking about maybe doing a Zoom meetup to chat about it at the end if people are free and available and want to do that. But anyway, all that to say, one of the things that I like about doing the buddy reads, and I think you can do it on the read-alongs too, but I haven't do that. The read-alongs, you can have more people. But with the buddy reads, you know, no matter what way that you are consuming the media, whether it's an ebook, I just got mine from the library as an ebook, or you're reading it as a physical book, or you're listening to it, you can go into the buddy read and you can leave comments because you're tracking like where you are in the book, right? So, you know, you're on page whatever, or if you're listening to it, I'm 20% in or whatever, and you can leave comments and about wherever you are, or like discussion things that you want to talk about, and other people can't see it until they have blogs that they are to that point or past it, and then it will open up for them. And I just think that that's so much fun. So it's like little fun surprises or gifts waiting for you as you're reading along and doing these buddy reads. And I think that that's such a neat thing to do. So I want to try to do more of those, or read-alongs in the future, just because I am enjoying like getting back into reading more and stimulating myself mentally in that way, especially looking at some statistics about where I live, and the reading level of people in the populace really makes me nervous. And so I want to make sure that I am doing my part to continue to educate and use my critical thinking skills and be a good citizen. With that being said, if you, again, like I said, if you're interested in reading along and joining in the buddy read, we have a few slots available. Just send me a message over on Instagram if you're on the Storygraph, and I can send you the link to the buddy read. Again, that we're reading Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell for that buddy read. I'm putting it out in the universe, thinking about maybe starting a book club with a friend. I jokingly text them about it. I don't want to say who it is yet, but we were thinking about it, maybe for the new year, and just like do like a monthly book or whatever. Yeah, nothing that has like, well, we haven't talked about this, but I'm saying it, and then when they watch this will be one of the things, but we need to talk more. Nothing that has like multiple books, because like I'm not into that. I love that for you guys. I want you to be reading these 15 book sagas, but like I don't want to join a book club that's doing that, and I don't want to lead a book club that's doing that. I want us to be reading like one-offs, have a great time, come together and talk about it. I would though like to reread and like buddy read or do a read along. That's like not book club involved, just like on our own. I want to reread, and I've been thinking about this for a while. I want to reread the Golden Compass or His Dark Materials series, because I love those books and they just really been on my spirit lately, and I'm thinking about rereading those. Maybe I'll start one of those in December, like when it gets really cold and I'm just like in my house. Anywho, there's a lot going on. Let me know in the comments if you're on the Storygraph and you'd be interested in like a book club type thing. And then I'll talk to the friend that I want to do this with, and maybe it's not just a Storygraph thing. Maybe the folks that are on the Storygraph want to do it, and we could open it up to other folks as well. I don't really know. It was just something fun I thought about and was like, oh, this might be kind of fun. It may peter out, but who knows? Yeah, I feel like that's all I have to say. This episode is literally going to be the same length. It always is, because that's how life goes. I hope everyone has a wonderful 2 weeks. It will, if you live in the US, we will have had Thanksgiving by the next time I see you. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and you do what you want to do for that holiday, not what people want you to do for that holiday. Protect your peace and spend time with those that you want to spend time with, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, enjoy your next 2 weeks, everyone. Craft all the things. Leave me fun comments. I love hearing what you all have to say. I'm trying to be better now that I'm back in the swing of doing things, to either heart or comment to everyone that's leaving comments down below, but I do love reading everything. Yeah, that's it for now. Until I see you all next time, make a peace, spread some peace. Peace.